That's not my mic. There's my mic. Hey everyone, welcome back to ESL TV for the EPS Winter 2013 Finals. I am joined by the lovely, the talented, the ever so amazingly dancer. Help me out.
There's no limit to my dance moves, as we're about to get into the grand final between ESC, Icebox, and Planetkey Dynamics. Both teams which defeated their opponents 2-0 in the semifinals to make it to this best of 3 grand final.
You know, we would love to have fun and keep doing what we're doing before, obviously, the rest of the day. But we have a job to do. We have a match to cast, an exciting one this one's going to be. We're already into picks and bans, and we're going to have ESC be over on the blue team here as they get the first pick, obviously. And we're going to have Dynamics over on the other side. And we can tell you right now on the screen, we have Kassadin, Severe, and Evelyn banned out by ESC. So they were watching those last games. Definitely.
They want to make sure they get rid of Siva. I'm interested to see that they've banned Siva as opposed to the likes of Vi or Leona. So they felt that Siva was more impactful than any of the other champions. The one thing I do want to highlight, PKD has been banning Lucian in all of their games so far today, and ESC played Lucian in both of their matches earlier. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, didn't they go for a Lucian-Zyra combo?
Correct, in both of their matchups.
Yeah, Zyra's banned out on top of that, but we do have, well, you called it Vi, being sat on right now. We could see that one picked up. What do you think of this Nidalee pick coming in here? Because we don't see too many Nidalees. We did see, I believe, one yesterday in the final match between KMT and TCM, if I'm not mistaken.
The thing that I like about the Nidalee pick in this patch, whenever we see Nidalee picked in 3.14, she tends to be around champions that can engage, like a Leona, like a Mundo.
Like really round champions?
Like a Rengar,
Got it.
Okay, that can follow up once the damage, the poke damage has gone down. But we do see that both Rengar and Vi have been picked away. So that sort of follow-up after poke isn't there just yet. So I want to see how ESC decides to close this composition out.
Well, they do follow up with a Caitlyn and with an Annie. So if they're going for a poke composition, Caitlyn would definitely be the avenue to go with here. But the Rengar Vi, what do you think we're going to see out of PKD now to follow that up? Because we do have the potential for the stealth. We do have potential ball delivery system. And we have only seen their bottom lane play so far, Severe and Leona.
It's very difficult. Ziggs is still available. Ziggs was banned, then it was picked. So it might be a possibility here if you were Planetkey Dynamics. But what they are doing, because they're on the red side, they have that ability to counterpick. So they're leaving their mid laner to see what ESC do for the rest of their composition and then deciding how else they want to wrap it out. I don't know if Orianna is going to be the best choice here. It can do well, it's got the shield, but I feel like Orianna against Nidalee is not the greatest. Maybe even like a Syndra, you know, to instantly burst her down if you get in range.
Well, let's see what they do go with here, and it looks like we need a jungler and a top laner over on the ESC side, and we do have Renekton open. We've had Renekton open actually for the majority. I think every single game he's been available. Hasn't been picked up though. Not too popular over here in Germany, at least in this league. But they're sitting on a Naz, and they do lock that one in.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it pans out, because Renekton was very popular in a lot of the LCS qualifying matches. We did see it once from ESC, but it wasn't super impactful in terms of their victory. So, I don't know, maybe the team's just working away from it or not trending towards it. We do see another Nasus, and this is going to be another top lane Nasus. And it didn't work for the Ducks, who played it against Planetkey Dynamics. They used Dr. Mundo to counter it. And obviously this time around they've got Rengar, so it's not going to work out that way.
Well, we are seeing Sejuani as the last pick for ESC there. And we need a mid laner over for Dynamics here. And you were saying, you know, Syndra is a good possibility. Maybe Ziggs, since that's still available.
I think Ziggs could do quite well. I think Ziggs offers counter poke that can allow you to push back immediately. And the thing that I like about Ziggs in this particular setup is that once you're sitting back and you're defending from those poke of Nidalee, you can actually stay to the side or to the left and still be impactful in the fights. You can still clear the waves. You can still respond to the range of those javelin tosses.
And looking at ESC's picks so far, they had a very poke composition heavy kind of start with the Nidalee, with the Caitlyn, with the Annie. Do you think they kind of like went back on that all of a sudden because they saw the other team's picks? Because they picked up a Sejuani for a very hard engage, and they have a Nasus to obviously stop the AD carry.
Completely agree. Completely agree. I think if they had swapped out their Nidalee with an Orianna, I would have preferred their synergy within the composition. You have Nasus and Sejuani throw themselves in there, pull everybody together with, you know, the shockwave, and then allow Caitlyn to clean up from a safe range. So I'm not 100% sure. On the other side, you do also have a very good somebody must now die button.
See hero, kill hero.
Basically, hit them with a javelin toss. Then you jump in there with the Wither and Sejuani with, I don't actually know her ultimate now that I think about it. Catching them off, you know. And
mark this day down the counters,
we'll
folks.
See. We'll see.
Quick shot. The man who has an encyclopedia in his head on League of Legends ability names can't remember Sejuani's.
It's just, yeah.
What if I told you I knew what it was?
You don't, though.
But what if I told you I did?
Yeah, I know you're lying. So we'll see how this works out. I feel like in skirmishes, the side of ESC can do very well. Nasa, Sejuani, Needly, Caitlyn, they're all quite mobile. They have tools to sort of get in and out of combat quite nicely. But in the bigger 5v5s, I really think I prefer the composition of Planetkey dynamics.
All right, well, we will be getting underway shortly here. Remember, this is the Grand Finals. EPS winner 2013, winner of this best of 3 will be the grand champions, and that is definitely not a title you should take lightly because within EPS, there are so many teams in Germany, or Germany's really well known for esports, that a title like this can get you, a couple of big name sponsors if you want, maybe work towards the LCS in the upcoming months, obviously. But it's going to be very tough because both these teams are very good. Yeah,
and I also know the names of, ESC and Planetkey Dynamics are actually fairly big names in the esports scene and other titles. So, it is prestigious for these guys to work together, get involved. I refuse to accept you looking at skill names too.
I don't know what you're talking about. That was just from my back of my brain. It's actually Glacial Prison.
Glacial
I knew that
Prison.
one.
Glacial Prison. I should have known that.
Can you name her other abilities, though, without looking at them real quickly?
I can't. No, I could try.
I
know Northern Winds.
I will let this one go, though, because how often do we ever see... Wait, Northern Winds...
Q was the one I missed.
Northern Winds.
Yeah, Northern Winds and Permafrost.
How often do we see Sejuani's? I think LCS saw her once by Snoopy.
The thing about Sejuani is she's a champion with a huge amount of utility. I mean, huge amount of utility. But the thing is, it takes her a long time to reach a powerful position. And if you miss those skill shots, if you miss that Glacial Prison... That's it. It's gone.
Well,
so
I mean, if you're
watching, be very careful.
If you're watching Intel Extreme Master Singapore during the show match of the ARAM, Joe can attest for that one because when he missed, we would walk all over them when he played Sejuani in that one. Not going to really go too far into that, but we kicked their ass. So right now, we are seeing supports go for the same items they've been doing this entire time. We see the Ancient Coin, and we see the shield picked up.
Yeah, Relic Shield once again for ViperX. I'm interested to see once again, nobody has gone for that Sweeping Lens trinket. They've just gone for the Warding Totem once again.
Oh.
We do see that Scott Lol is... Oh, he's in a very bad position. Going to be able to get away, luckily. And he'd already skilled up his Piltover Peacemaker as well, so he didn't even have the option to 90 caliber net to safety.
Good job of him to at least escape that one. And right now we're seeing a red start come out of Satane here. And Dos going to be going for a blue start. So let's introduce you to the teams real quick, actually, since we haven't gone over their names yet. We have Shasu over on that Nasus. We have Dos over on Sejuani. Chris on Nidalee, which we did see play Orianna earlier on, did fairly well. Scott, LOL, going to be on Caitlyn. And Fail Factory going to be on Annie. Over on the other side, we have Zio on the Rengar, not going to be on Moon this time. Satane over on the Vi. Avenue on Ziggs. Cedrian on the Varus. And Viper on Leona yet again here. So, 2 minutes in, getting underway. Both junglers starting for a normal sort of path. Talk us to this top lane, because we see a lot of Rengars, and we see a lot of tanky Rengars now.
I want to see how well Zio does in lane, and a lot of the time it'll determine how he's going to build, his itemize. But the one thing we have seen from Zio in both of his Dr. Mundo games is he plays the split push matchup. He actually ran teleport on those champions, didn't run teleport this time around, and I think in early levels, he should actually be able to bully Nasus around. I think he's got enough damage and sustain to cause him a headache. But it looks like both of these champions right now are just farming their way up. And I believe they're going to come to this sort of split-pushing battle between the two of them, which Shasu should win because he has teleport.
And yeah, speaking of split-pushing battles, that's exactly what Zio did for his 2 games. So Rengar going to work up his alley here. But what about this bottom lane here? Caitlyn Annie, that's become the bread and butter, it seems like, of the bottom lane of teams nowadays against this Leona Varus, who, as we were saying before, a very hard engage. Can definitely ruin someone's day.
Well, throwbacks as far as AD carries are concerned. Caitlyn and Varus coming out, and I think if anybody gets caught by Leona CC, they're in trouble, just like Scott Lol, and here comes Satane.
You do see Dos coming in for the backside too. Maybe they'll be able to turn this one around, but Satane with the door bus is looking for a kill here. Scott doing some good damage as he is kiting away, and Fail Factory, don't forget about the stuns that he has provided. The exhaust going to come in, and right now, we're seeing Dynamics actually being forced to flash and get out of this fight when they're the ones to make it happen.
Dos completely untouched there. The amount of slow that he offered was able to disrupt Cedrian and ViperX from actually sticking to Scott Lol and Fail Factory. Flashes and summoner spell, aggressive summoner spells burn for both supports. Both AD carries holding on to their flashes. One with cleanse, one with barrier.
Dos looks like he might be able to catch Satane here a little bit. Actually, He won't be able to clear out his jungle camp, but he's going to go onto him. He's going to force something. Actually, no, he backs away instead. Doesn't know exactly where Avenue will be going, but we talked a little bit about this mid lane between these two champions. Well, actually, you know what? We'll hold on to that for a second because Dose stealing away the white camp, and he could possibly go for a bottom lane gank.
The possibility's there, but I think it would be very risky because he's not super tanky right now. If Scotland were to tank up the tower and use barrier, maybe that would work, but it's very brave, especially when you consider how tanky Leona can get with just a couple of points into a Solar Eclipse W. So that'll work in her favor. And you see that, you actually see Dose just backing away, heading to his Wraith camp, going to continue farming. Doing pretty well so far. A couple CS behind that of Vi, but he has been forced to counter at least one of those ganks.
We've already seen a little bit of a worrying factor happen in this top lane. Shasu forced to back out. And one thing we can't forget about is, even though Nasus has great sustain with his passive, Rengar with that W, just spamming away based off cooldown, he can stay in lane for basically forever. And I would imagine that if he does build tanky, Shasu can't push him out of lane.
Yeah, I also feel like the early game is in favor of Rengar, though. I think just Rengar's kit, the root, the heal, the ability to deal damage, you know, and the fact that he's manaless, it just really plays into Xayah's favor. So if the CS lead continues to grow over the next 10 minutes, that's when you need to get worried. Say 10 seconds on his Vault Breaker, he sort of got... He wanted to gank, but ESC were already backing away, so the cooldown on his Q was too long and just sort of failed.
And even Dose was heading down there to maybe turn that one around on top of that, but right now both Millers have gone back. We'll be returning shortly, both picking up the Chalice here. But we don't see a Doran's Ring that Avenue has over Chris currently, who went for the Crystalline Flask.
Yeah, slight difference in itemization. We do see Fel Factory's been called with the Zenith Blade.
Oh, he doesn't have Flash to get away. That's surely first blood. Yes, it is. Goes over to Viper. That gives him an early start to his build. And remember, we have seen him build a very early face of the mountain.
So this is something that we've seen from this duel. And again, Cedrian and Viper, they forego CS to focus on harassing and shutting down their opponents. In game 1 of the semi-final, there was a lot of ganks from Seitan in the bottom lane to get this 2v2 going, and we can probably expect the same. I imagine when Seitan gets closer to 6, he's going to come straight to the bottom lane with that Assault and Battery.
Yeah, especially with Fel Factory. I mean, I think it might be a little bit close, but it's definitely true. He's been showing that time and time again that he wants to gank bottom, he wants to make the plays there, he wants to get his AD carry fed, but right now, Dose, I believe ESC know this is happening, or know this is, like, I guess, the game plan, and maybe he can stop and prevent this. But we started getting into here mid lane. How do you think this one's going to go? Because I would imagine they wouldn't straight up fight each other too often.
It literally comes down to whoever can land the skill shots the most often. Kill potential sits with Ziggs, though. Because Ziggs' Mega Inferno Bomb has got a lot of damage and massive range, he has the option to kill Needly if Needly's running away. But landing that on a Needly in Cougar form with Pounce is going to be really difficult. So it's most likely just going to end up being a farming lane, which Ziggs will also win thanks to superior wave clear.
Let's see how that lane develops a little bit later on right now, but Shasu's still being beaten in CS currently. But I mean, you kind of already explained it a little bit earlier on. You would assume that Rengar should be able to win this one. And Shasu going to be building very tanky very soon. Blue buff from Dose is going to be donated over to Chris Middle. And Avenue, using his ultimate actually.
Did it get it?
I don't know where it actually went.
He threw it to blue. He tried to steal blue buff.
Oh, well.
Yeah, just missed it though, because we were looking for the icon and didn't appear. A lot of damage into Dose though, thanks to that Mega Inferno Bomb. He's going to be forced to recall and heal up. And as it stands, Avenue got himself an 11 CS lead. We'll have to see if we can hold on to that. With the exception of the AD carry, Planetkey are actually doing very well in the CS department. Those tosses, javelin tosses, not doing as much damage as Chris would hope. That one, however, did hurt.
Really, yeah, doing a little bit more on that one. And the thing is, we saw earlier on, and we can talk about a little bit right now, is that ESC, when they won their games, it wasn't very clear-cut. Like, it wasn't like 100%, yeah, they easily have this one.
Yeah.
But over on the other side, Dynamics, when they won their games, it was very one-sided. Like, once they got that little bit of a finger, that little bit of scent of blood, they just snowballed the game very, very quickly. Yeah,
the ability to close seems to be much better on the side of Planetkey Dynamics. This time round, you know, they've got First Blood, they've got a CS lead in 2 of the lanes, they've generated like 1,000 gold lead just from laning. There's no dragons, there's no towers, just from, you know, the champions versus champions matchup, and we'll have to see how they can convert that. Seitan is 6 now, does have Assault and Battery, and look, he just happens to be heading to the bottom lane. You know, no ways we could have known that was happening.
Well, let's see if he can make the gank happen, though, and all it takes, well, as you can see, a pink ward, a very early one invested into this push. All it takes is one Zenith Blade coming out of Viper to make the play happen, but Fel Factory Well, actually, we do see, wow, if Varus ultimate used, and they're just going to collapse right onto Scott. Dose comes in from the side with the ultimate. It actually saves him for a little bit here, but now Scott's definitely going to go down. There's the kill, and then they'll turn on Fail Factory, who has his flash to get away, but I'm not sure he's going to make this one happen. He's going to fall. And with that gank coming in at a Satane,
oh, that was close. I almost thought the trap was going to kill Satane, but a great combination there. Following the CC of the Chain of Corruption from Varus, I was actually watching Viper EX's level. I'm like, he doesn't have the Solar Flare, he doesn't have the Leona ulti available, so the fight's not going to come from there. And all of a sudden, Chain of Corruption catching everybody off guard, comboing it to get 2 kills, 1 for the jungler, 1 for the AD carry, and that's going to be a rinse and repeat. What we've seen from Satane, he likes to get his AD carry rolling, and if they stay in that 2v2 matchup in this bottom lane, he will be coming back the next time it's available.
And one thing that we're seeing middle right now that I actually didn't even think about until this point in time is that because he's played Ziggs, because Avenue is on that champion, Chris can't afford to leave the lane to go gank. Like, that turret already pretty much low on life, about half health currently, and Dose is waiting off to the side to make a gank happen on him.
Yeah, and remember, what you've got to keep an eye on is this bomb. Can Avenue get to safety? Here comes Dose, manages to flash away. Glacial Prison, not used just yet. It's not available. He's going to get popped.
Tank coming in, looking for Chris here, as well as Fail Factory there, coming in with a stun, the flash Timbers. That's going to be enough to pick up a kill. Both kills go over to Dose, and a fantastic turnaround, but right now, we see Rengar heading down. He has the ultimate available. Will he pop it? Will he try to go in for a kill? No. He's going to back away. And that's because the rest of the team of ESC do back as well.
Yeah, not pushing the tower, so they don't need to come in and defend. And, you know, what you were highlighting with Needly leaving the lane for ganks and roaming ganks, Ziggs can do that from half the distance. Thanks to his ultimate, he can take part with that quasi-global Mega Inferno Bomb, and that can have the damage difference to kill the fairly squishy targets of Needly, Caitlyn, and Annie if Needly goes for those roams. You see the pink ward is down, they're trying to clear them out. Pink ward is up. And that's a nice little win there for Planetkey, just to deny the vision from their opponents.
Yeah, and investing all that money into that ward, but now it's going to be gone here. And Satane got a pink ward down on Dragon. Actually going to go over the wall here. But he will be spotted by a ward this... Actually, no, instead going to be hitting Dragon, then... Yeah, they're actually going to go for it here, but right now, no one's there to back him up.
This is brave. This is very brave. He's just eaten, you know, Javelin toss there. He's going to probably get out with his Vault Breaker, but... I'm not sure I agree with that decision. He had no number support around him. Needly was missing. Massive Javelin toss.
They committed the ultimate out of Dose as well, and he picks up another kill for himself, now going 3-0 at this point. And that means that Dragon, considering Satane was low on life, is going to be theirs.
Yeah, it does look like the rest of Planetkey will want to at least challenge. Now, there's no teleport from Nasus in the top lane. Keep that in mind. The rest of the members ESC decide they don't want to run the risk of the Chain of Corruption and Solar Flare, so they've grouped up as a 4-man in the mid, and they want the tower instead.
Fail Factory's got that stun ready. They have the damage. They're going to be able to take this turret, so they're going to tie it all up at 1-1 here. Those spears starting to do a little bit of damage here as Viper trying to scare them away. The turret's actually not dropping just yet, 12 minutes in. And they might be able to hold on to this one. In the meantime, you see Cedric bottom lane just pushing that one out. Yeah,
going to keep just shoving the lave down. He's still about 10 CS behind his opposite number, so that's going to play into the favor of ESC. But I'm a little confused as to why they didn't commit to the tower. There was a Vi there was a Leona there, and I suppose they didn't have the vision to know where the rest of their opponents were. Varus was missing on the map, Ziggs was missing on the map, and they didn't want to run the risk of a Ziggs ulti into Leona and Vi burst and possibly get taken down.
Yeah, that can hurt quite a bit here. And right now, you already pointed out the 10, well now 18 CS difference between the AD carries. Let's take a look at the top lane, since it's been very calm so far. Almost a 20 CS difference, and right now, Zio, he hasn't backed and bought. He's sitting on 3,500 gold to spend right now. Quick shot.
Now that's quite scary when you consider that Shasu has gone back at least twice. He had 2 cloth armors. He's now sitting on the Warden's Mail. He's still 20 CS behind. That's good and bad. It also means Zio's doing enough damage to him to force him back, but he's only got a 20 CS lead at about 13 minutes. We'll see how he decides to spend his money. We've been seeing tanky Rengars for the most part out of the OGN Rengar players, but it's not too obscure to see some damaging items like a Hex Drink and things like that.
He almost has a turret down on top of this without even backing and buying, and right now Shasu can't do anything about it except farm up, which right now is at 170 plus on that Q. He's actually going to be backing away now, and it seems like they will give this turret up. But in the meantime, we did see Satane steal away the blue buff from ESC, and that makes it so Chris's job is all that much harder.
Well, we also see from Shasu, this is the second time in a row he's used the teleport just to go to the tower to lane. And Zio's going to be forced to back. Frozen Heart now completed for Shasu. Zio's most likely going to need to... He doesn't even need to use Thrill of that. Doesn't even need his ultimate stealth to get away. He just heals up with the battle rule. We just had to hear the dogs bark.
Sorry,
just a little bit.
I just wanted to hear it again. It's so awesome. But right now, ESC...
for the next song, who let the dogs out? Just moving on. Anyways, at this point in time...
Save those ideas. Don't let people on stream know that yet. But Doe's going straight into the bottom. Misses the ultimate. Cedric going to get caught either way. He's not going to escape, even with the ultimate coming out of him. And ESC picking up a very clean kill here, but it did commit a very major ultimate, because that ultimate alone is going to determine if ESC can win these fights. Yeah,
that's going to be very, very scary not to have that available. Tibbers, however, is still there. Now, we do see Zio. He's moving to the top lane to defend the tower. And you can see ESC forced to back away from the dragon. They are a little bit nervous. This is going to be a 4v4, and there's no teleport available.
That is hilarious, considering Shasu's been back at his own turret the entire game in that top lane. He's the one to actually get the turret down first.
May I highlight, plus 180 damage on Siphoning Strike. And that's on a couple of seconds cooldown right now. Sorry, it's a 3-second cooldown.
That's 1 second more than a couple.
Yeah. but that's a lot of bonus damage, and it really shreds through those towers, especially when you consider he had a full cannon minion wave there as well.
Dose going to be coming down bottom again, it looks like here, as we do have Satane coming bottom yet again. Who would have guessed that one?
Well, Assault and Battery. Oh, that's a great solar flare.
Perfect solar flare coming out of him. And right now you have ESC with no ultimates to stop this. They're going to be able to pick up one kill. It looks like Satane actually getting pushed away from Dose right there. They don't pick up a kill. They got the Ziggs ultimate down for this. And right now Chris is heading around the corner to help out.
Yeah, I feel like there was a little bit of missed focus there. It seemed as though they wanted to get onto Scott Lol. Then, of course, Dose threw himself in there. So then they turned their attention to Dose. So it ended up not leading to a kill. But now Planetkey do have, at best, a 5v4 situation here. They should be able to pick this dragon up uncontested. Zio is scaring enough people away thanks to his presence there in that jungle.
We do have to consider, though, every moment he isn't in that top lane trying to harass Shasu, that's more farm that he's getting on that Q. We do see Dose going back in again. His ultimate going to be up very shortly, but that turret already very low on life. Satane even trying to zone them out towards the backside, and Fail Factory and Scott have not gone back to heal just yet.
Well, we'll have to see how this works out for them. They're also probably sitting on a fair amount of cash. Shasu is going to find himself running into Zio. Zio may try to pick a fight here. Savagery goes down, carries on chasing, and this could be a long, drawn-out fight if Zio decides to continue chasing.
Oh, Dose is coming in from the side. Obviously has the ultimate. Gonna escape, and that's what makes Rengar so damn strong in those solo lane split pushing here. But that was the ultimate coming out of Dose, and he missed it again on Satane.
It may have just got the slowdown, but nobody else followed it up either. Fail Factory had Flash and Tibbers and opted to not jump onto Satane. Now, all of a sudden, they've got... PKD's got positional advantage on this tower, and they should be able to pick it up, and they do.
Well, they get one. Will they be able to get any more off of this, though, as you do have all 5 men of ESC grouping up towards middle. Obviously, without the ultimate from Dose available, it makes it that much harder for them to engage in. And as we progress into these team fights, do you imagine that it's going to be 4-on-4s most likely, with Shasu and Zio both split pushing?
That's my gut feeling. Whenever we see Rengars, whenever we see Nasai in competitive league, they tend to play that split pushing role. They tend to try to control the map and then make opportunities elsewhere. But as long as that teleport is available or potentially available, Planetkey are always going to be at a disadvantage, because Nasus can just, TP in and change the course of a fight. So I feel like PKD need to bait out the teleport, then reset and try to play the split push game.
All right, well, let's see if they can make that happen. Currently, it's 4-3 in favor right now in total gold to Dynamics. 25.9 thousand to the 24.3. They do have a dragon under their belt. They do have 3 turrets as well. And ESC, there's still a lot of gold for them to pick up around the map, but if they can't hit that... I don't want to stress it too much, but if they can't hit that Sejuani ultimate, there really isn't a hope for them in a fight. Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. In terms of sieging, though, I do quite like ESC's composition, because if they have like a 5v5 under a tower situation, Needly poke, Caitlyn poke, plus the ability to deal damage to towers, I think is very good here. And if anybody oversteps, Nasus and Sejuani are actually pretty good at tower diving. They can get a lot of CC, a lot of damage down, and they can tank up for a long period of time. So we'll see how they decide to play that one out. Bone Tooth Necklace has been picked up by Zio. Obviously 0 stacks on it, as it is freshly minted off somebody's tooth, I imagine, and we'll have to see how quickly he can stack that up. I'm not 100% sure if I like the item. I'm going to be frank about it. I think it can do well if you're snowballing and you're doing well, but if you're 0-0-0 and then you pick it up, I don't know. I think you need to be in a commanding position before you buy it. Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, it's one of those items that you don't really see often, and you don't ever see it really get fully stacked. But Satane dodging the ultimate coming out of Dose, going to be able to escape here. And in the meantime, you're seeing bottom lane, Varus, just pushing by himself. He's behind a
14.
lot in
Yeah.
CS. I mean, that's kind of gone under, I guess, my radar at least for quite a while here. But he's not going to jump this team, and that means ESC, maybe they can go for a push on this turret.
Yeah, they've got the numbers advantage. Teleport is available as well, so if anybody's pushing down towers, Shasu can actually respond to that very, very well. Well, you do see that they decide to back away, and they're a little bit scared, I think, because the all-in power of Planetkey Dynamics. Oh, wow, here comes Zio.
Yeah, he ulted into that one, but what the hell? The Leona ultimate perfectly placed where they flashed into an exhaust coming down a Fail Factory. They're going to be able to, they're not going to be able to pick up that kill just yet.
Oh,
they
got
do! With the rubber ducky, gets the kill, and now, just like that, Dynamics picking up 2 kills back-to-back with the engage coming out of Zion. We talked about that Bone Tooth Netflix, not really convinced. Unless you can get snowballing with it, that might have been exactly what he needed. Just got 1 stack on it.
Definitely going to help out, but what a fantastic solar flare from Viper X. He threw it down to catch Annie in the back, and Chris flashed into it. I would love to know if he planned or if he anticipated the flash, and that was the placement, or if it was just hit Annie. But either way, convincing 2 kills there for Planetkey Dynamics. I think relieving the pressure almost, because that was a 5-man ESC stack on their mid lane tower, and it was just immediately shut down. That's going to make ESC think twice about all future pushes.
Wow, I think if you ask him, he's going to always say it was calculated every time, even though it probably wasn't on his part. But so well played right there.
And I want to highlight, Sivir was banned during Champion Select, not Leona. So if they wanted to break up the bottom pairing, ESC may have assumed that the Sivir was the deciding factor, because of course Sivir offers your team a whole lot more. But again, ViperX is his 3rd Leona game in a row, and it's the 3rd time that I'm phenomenally impressed flabbergasted by how well he places his solar flares, because they really are very, very impressive.
We do have 45 seconds remaining on that Dragon come up very shortly here. ESC did, actually not ESC, Dynamics did get the last one. But let's see what can happen this time. And in the midst of all this though, ESC still is farming up very well.
No, they definitely are. I mean, they've got a CS lead. I think if you add up all the totals, the bonus that Caitlyn has of Varus is more than what Rengar has ahead of Nasus, and that's being evened up very, very closely. With Dragon coming up in 20 seconds, both of the teams are poising around this objective. Teleport is up, so keep that in mind. Nasus can carry on split pushing because he can join a fight at any time. You're going to try and get this warp. This is so risky.
It's going to be very difficult for Dynamics to get this Dragon as long as ESC does
comes
poke
Zio.
down. But Zio with the ultimate going in. We do see the flash. Chris going to get blown up right away.
Solar flare.
Factory coming in.
He got the flash.
Last on Scott Low. And now Zio going to be head-to-head against him. He does have the armor to take him down eventually here. And not to mention, he's going to get a rev up at the back as Dose' ultimate. I don't know where it went, but it's not in the right position right now as Viper X and Zio going head-to-head against Dose and Fail Factory. We did see Avenue kill Shasu here, but Fail Factory's going to drop. Dose might even drop here. No, he actually flashes to escape, but they get 4 kills off of that.
So Dose's ultimate during the course of that went into the backline. I think it caught Cebrion only as they were moving around the red buff bush. But the one thing that, once again, Viper anticipated the flash from Caitlyn. He managed to flash over the wall, then catch a Zenith Blade onto Chris, and then followed that up. Once Scott Lol flashed, a solar flare caught him on his head, and naturally Zio just cleaned house, and his Bone Tooth necklace is now sitting pretty with, I think, what's that, 5 stacks? I can't see the number. 4 stacks, there we go. So got him up, looking pretty good right now. Gonna start getting some additional armor penetration and just very good decisive play. That's the best way to explain it. Planetkey, they make a decision and then go, and they all stick to it.
This is what we talked about though with Dynamics, is that when they got a little bit of a lead, they could carry it through. Like they would lengthen that lead to an astounding number, and right now they've been able to pull almost a 7,000 lead. They're going to lose a turret here, but they were able to spend so much money. Look at the items they picked up. Quickshot, walk us through what they've recently gotten now and how this is going to affect, how the power spike is really going to make this work.
Okay, so they've only managed to complete a Spirit Visage, Rabadon's Death Cap, Sweeping Lens, and upgraded that to the Greater Vision Totem as well. So just a few things thrown in. You've got the Warden's Mail, Lost Whispers thrown in for good measure. We see another Spirit Visage being picked up now by Satane in his last couple of minutes. And he's also, top lane and jungler for Planetkey Dynamics have now swapped over to the Sweeping Lens Trinket, deciding that denying vision on these invades and these aggressive forward movements is more important than vision.
And you're seeing right now, look at Viper going for the Greater Vision Totem, but we do hear Zao. He's going to be ulting up here. Who is he going to be looking for? He wants Chris. He's going to get... Look at the combo with the E out of Rengar and then the Solar Flare out of Viper. They just 2-man killing squad. In the meantime, we did see Scott,
Cedron
pick
on
up
the
a kill
bottom
on a
lane, yeah.
Cedron, but right now, they can go for Baron. I mean, we saw Fail Factory be down there to make that kill happen, and they're going to lose Baron for this, most likely.
This is definitely worth it. There's a lot of damage that can come out from Zio's Rengar. We do see that Shasu maybe has an inkling that it's happening. He's going to try to get in range, but the rubber ducky's going to prevent him getting in there anytime soon. Baron's down to 3,000. Look at that. Even the Mega Inferno Bomb used just to try and close it out. And great play here from Planetkey. Now all of a sudden, Nasus is in trouble.
Well, he wanted to get a kill here, at least take Baron buff away from one person. The Maze also come out of Dose, but they don't have anyone to back them up. If anything, it was just to get them away. And Zio, he's not done just yet. He gets the empowered E onto him. Shasu so low on life. He's gonna... Is he? No! We see the flash come out of Zio. He catches him here. Now Dose is in trouble. Fail Factory trying to charge up that stun as quick as possible, but they're all trying to back away. Zio gonna be going for him, but I want to watch this over here as we see Viper hit a nice Zenith Blade over on a Dose, and Avenue comes around the corner, picks up the kill, and just like that, within the last 5 minutes alone, Dynamics has gotten such a huge lead.
I think Planetkey Dynamics is one of the best teams I've seen at executing a plan. Once a call gets made, you know, the dive of Rengar onto Leona, Rengar and Leona onto Nidalee. They made the dive, got the kill, and instantly fell back to Baron. Instantly, the call was made, we go Baron now. There was no hesitation, there was no, you know, waiting at all from these guys, and it's fantastic to watch.
Yeah, I don't think anyone in the world really questions Germans on being efficient or not. They're probably one of the best at that, but right now, ESC, they need to do something here. They're down 5 to 12 in kills. They're down almost 10,000 gold 25.5 minutes in. And 10,000 gold at 25.5 minutes in 3.13 compared to 3.14 is so much easier to get then. That this number is even more impressive now.
Yeah, it's a really strong lead that they've got right now. And the thing that I like is they're converting a lot of these strong plays into map objectives. It's not just a kill, fall back, farm the lane. It's kill Baron, kill tower. They chased us, we chase them, we get another tower. So it's really strong, decisive play. Zio now wants a piece of Shasu and he's picking a fight.
Well, he can very well do it. He's starting to do a little bit of damage with that Phage, not to mention that Bone Tooth Necklace really starting to stack up here at Shasu. There's no way he's doing no damage to him. He's just trying to survive here. We do have Fail Factory off to the side looking for a stun that will fend Zio away, but it won't commit the ultimate. Even Avenue using his right there to kind of push him back. But look what Zio's done. He's pulled 2 people down towards the bottom side. In the meantime, you're seeing the rest of Dynamics respawn by pushing middle with 4.
Yeah, and he's going to win that 1v2, no problem. He's still got Thrill of the Hunt as well, so if Rengar needs to get away, or if he feels he can pick up a kill, he can just all of a sudden dive in there. Now, Rengar's managed to sneak from the bottom lane. They've picked the front and middle.
Oh, Scott, he's not going to survive for much longer. He does pop the berry. He ends up going down to ViperX, and they're just chasing them off the turret. Look at the whole team of ESC. They're being forced away right now, and they still have the Baron buff over on Dynamics' side. They're going to get a turret. And they're going to get an inhibitor off this, and Zao, he's not looking like he's done just yet. He's going to get the snare on a Dose, who forces a flash out of him. And Dynamics, 10,000 gold lead now. It's
just such great play. They don't wait. They don't give ESC the chance to regroup and defend their tower. They just dive, go. And the Vi Leona is just working into this composition. You have to ban one of them in this next matchup because, you know, PKD are just using it so phenomenally well, zoning out members of ESC, and now they're going to take another turret.
And the thing is, it's also Viper and Zio working so well together. You saw their Mundo game with Mundo Leona. Now, them two are a 2-man killing squad onto Chris every single time by stunning him up completely. And Dynamics, they still have the Baron, but they still have the regen. And look how low Dose just got from a little bit of chip.
Yeah, I couldn't get in range. Mega Inferno doesn't get a kill, but take a look at Shasu.
No, he's not going to live for much longer either. They have the whole team focusing down on him. He's not tanking up. His Chris getting dropped solo as well. Viper going to survive with the flash. Scott, will he be able to live here? No, Avenue going straight at him, and it's going to... The bounce almost landed onto him as we see the Ace though come in. Going to get blocked by Varus there. And look at all 5 members right now on the right side of the screen. They are all blinking.
They didn't lose a single member. Planetkey Dynamics are in such a good position. This Annie's going to die if you get involved here. Any CC lands and they're just going to shut her down. Zion now, he's stealthed up, throw the hunt. I think they want to jump on somebody. He's jumped onto Scott.
And look how low he's dropping that Solar Flare yet again. The 2-man squad able to pick that one up. Doe's going to fall here.
Scotty doesn't know that he cannot win this fight. And PKD realizing they're all low on HP, they don't want to run the risk of a home guard engage. They back away. 2 inhibitors, so many towers. This all stems from that Baron play. 2.5k gold on more than half the guys. Brilliant decisive play.
And look how much money they have to spend on top of this right now. Quick shot, 2,500 on Ziggs, 1,600 on Leona, 2,300 on Vi. And also, Vi is doing Dragon as well. So right now, this lead is getting very one-sided, and ESC, it doesn't matter what items they pick up right now. In the end, it's not going to matter.
Yeah, I feel like at this point in time, you know, this really is the end. Because ESC, they've got no map presence. They've got super minions in the mid lane. They've got super minions in the bottom lane. And unless they catch PKD completely off guard and blow them up instantly, there's just no way they can pull this back.
And the CS difference that Scott did have over his counterpart Sedgwick a little bit earlier on, it's basically all gone. And if anything, it just doesn't matter. Look at the two AD carries, 9.5 thousand to 11.5 thousand, even with the CS lead, but those 8 assists really coming up big.
Yeah, I feel like the 3 dragons, 1 baron, 8 towers have a little bit to say there.
I would assume a little. I mean,
just a touch. Just a touch, you know, but it's definitely a very good position to be in, and I really like what Planetkey are doing right now. Backing away, there's super minions in the middle and the bottom lane. For everybody watching, when you have super minions in your ranked play, in your online games, don't push the same lane as your super minions. Let them push for you and take objectives elsewhere on the map. And this is exactly what Dynamics are doing.
And also, whenever you see Quickshot in a game, make sure to ask, is that really you, Quickshot? But Zao going to be going in here looking for Scott. Solar Flare pairing up right behind that. Ziggs ultimate coming in. Scott, every ultimate is being used against him, and he drops, and once he's gone, there goes so much damage as the rest of Dynamics is just powering in on top of him. This is going to be the first victory. 21-22 now to 6 in kills. And Dynamics are going to take a very early 1-0 lead in this best of 3.
There's definitely no limit as far as Planetkey Dynamics are concerned. They just decimated ESC in the mid game. Laning phase went well. Laning phase was pretty even from ESC, but the rotations and the objective pushes from Planetkey were just on another level entirely.
And the whole Leona-Rengar combo, whoever they focus on, whether it was Chris, whether it was Scott, they would just die from the whole combo. And when you lose one of your major carries, when you have a Nidalee who you need to poke with, when you're being engaged upon so hard by the other team, what are you going to do?
So this is the other thing as well. Whenever you come up against a Nidalee, one of the best things you can do against a Nidalee, against a poke composition, is have an all-in composition. You don't get much more all-in than via Leona and Rengar. And especially the way this team plays those champions, they don't care where you are. They don't care what you're doing. If they group up with 2 or 3 of them, they will dive you. They will land their CC because you can't stop Vi. And Viper X doesn't miss his solar flares,
especially
apparently.
Where they were fighting, too, if you think about it. They were always in the jungle, always in these really close quarter combat positions where a solar flare would pretty much be a guaranteed thing to hit. And I don't take away from him. He hit some pretty damn good ones, catching
really
flashes multiple times. But then again, you look into this, what are they going to ban on against him now?
Vi or Leona has to be a priority.
But I mean, if we look at what was banned out last time, Cassidon and Severe Eve. We saw Cassidon played by Avenue earlier on, did really well with it. But it's like they don't have enough bans to do it against them.
Vi or Leona, that's my answer. I really feel like that is a super, super important pick. I think the play style of Planetkey Dynamics, the champion seems to work with him. And this is what we talked about. Like in the previous game, we said, well, can they do the same to ESC if they get the same picks? And they varied somewhat, but the core elements, the core elements of go, 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 see hero, kill hero, run, forest, run is always there. And they make it work.
Yeah, very well done by them. We're going to go a quick little break here, but the real question is, can ESC claw their way back in? Can they pick up a game here and take it to a game number 3 between these two teams? This is the EPS Winter 2013 Finals, well, Grand Finals here at ESL TV. Guys, we have some stuff planned in the break coming up, so don't go anywhere.